Mike Patton of Touring the AFC South here with what some would call one of the toughest runners in the NFL in his day. That would be Mr. Gerald Riggs. What's going on?
I'm doing pretty good, Mike. Good to meet you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, during your time in the NFL, you were one of the toughest runners out there. I mean, you ran through, around, over people, caught the football as well. What can you attribute those skills you learned to?
Well, you know what? I think it comes from some of the early coaches that I had who helped me out with my football game. I was not necessarily, I was a late bloomer, let's put it that way. So I had an opportunity to do other things, basketball, baseball, things that had hand-eye coordination that I really had to have. So when I decided to land in the football, it all just seems to kind of go hand in hand, so to speak. And because of that, I got noticed. People saw that I could do a little bit of everything, along with not just run the ball, but catch it and block. And you had to be a full-service back at that time, and that I prided myself on doing that.
Now, you ended up landing, after college in Atlanta. Now, in Atlanta, you are still the top rusher, I believe. You're still the top rusher.
Still. Okay.
Yes, still the top rusher in over many years. You're still the top rusher in Atlanta football history. But you didn't win a title until you went to play for the Redskins, now the Commanders. Now, which moment in time would you say you probably enjoyed more, the breaking records and owning a record in Atlanta, or winning a title for in Washington?
Well, that's a real good question, because when people look at your career, they think about where you were and the things that you did in that particular organization and for that city, and that was great in Atlanta. I loved it. My most exciting moment was being drafted in the NFL to Atlanta. But playing in a Super Bowl, there's almost sometimes no words to describe it, because that's what you play for. You want to get to that pinnacle of the NFL, and winning a championship is what all of us aspire to do. And I had an opportunity to do that in my latter years, my last couple of years. So it was a lot easier to kind of go out of the game and not have any look back and say, you know what, there are some other things I wish I would have done, or maybe wish could have happened. Have some regrets about anything, but the way that it ended up, couldn't ask for a better way to end.
Now, playing for Joe Gibbs, how was that? The famous running styles of Joe Gibbs. How was it playing for him?
He saw something also in me to get me there in Washington. Their system, their one-back system, was something that people had talked about for years. They started with Riggins and going on to Timmy Smith and some of the other guys who played in that organization who had a lot of success, and it kind of catered to what I was able to do. So we had a little bit of it in Atlanta when Dan Henney came there, who actually was with Joe Gibbs at one time. So he brought that same system there. I was successful in it, and they needed a guy at that point in time to kind of bolster up their offense, and that's why they got me in there, and the rest is history. Won a Super Bowl.
Now I want to move on, kind of your kids. Your kids ended up, kind of playing football and then going to the pros as well. Gerald Riggs Jr. and Cody, which I actually played against Gerald my senior year of high school when he was at Red Bank.
I'm sorry.
No, we won that game. We actually won that one.
Okay,
we won that one. But I didn't play against Cody, of course. He was younger than me.
Yeah.
But just seeing your kids out there playing and continue the tradition of playing football. Man, how did that make you feel as a parent watching them?
Well, they were, I wouldn't say they were all late bloomers, but they kind of took that path of making sure that they wanted to play that game, because that was kind of my teachings to at least Gerald. Cody was a little bit different, but they both loved the game. They both loved the physicality of the game, and that, in itself was something that was relaxing for me to watch the play, because they understood. They understood how tough the game was. They understood what the things that they needed to do to be successful in the game. And just like a lot of guys now in the league who are seeing the fruits of their labor with their kids coming along and playing professional sports, I was a proud papa. So glad to see them both play collegiately and get a chance to play professionally. It was great gratifying for me and my sons at the same time.
All right, now I want to move on. Of course, Tennessee Titans, and there is a running back here in the Titans land that a lot of people talk about, and he's a big physical runner, and he runs pretty physical. His name's Derrick Henry. I know you've probably had a few chances to see him play. So what are your thoughts on just his physical dominance he's kind of shown over his career?
Well, it's like all of us running backs who, when we get acclimated to a system that really showcases your ability, the things that you can do, you're going to be successful. And that's exactly what's happened with him. You know, coming from a very good program in Alabama, and then going to a Titans ball club that, they put the offense, it wasn't just a quarterback. They put that offense around him as far as the running game. It's not talked about as much, but he makes that whole offense go. When he's on the field and he's healthy and he's doing the things that he's capable of doing, this is the result. You're going to have a team that's going to have a lot of success. And they haven't got to the Super Bowl yet, but I tell you what, they're not far away from it probably, and hopefully they'll get a chance to get in there. But he is right now to me that bell cow of all the NFL running backs, along with a couple other guys. But he's good at what he does, and hopefully he can stay healthy and get some more years out of it. He's getting up there now, so most people start to think that there's going to be a decline. But he takes care of himself. He takes care of his body. I think he's going to be still that kind of a monster back for another couple of years to come.
All right, yeah, you can definitely kind of get into the taking care of your body, because he definitely does some workouts. I mean, it's basically workouts that I've never seen. It's pretty. It's some of the impossible, basically.
Know the feeling. Been there, done that. I had opportunity to train with some pretty intense guys back in my day, and one guy who sticks out was the Walter Payton, and everybody had talked about his phenomenal workouts and what he did, and I kind of mimicked that myself with the way I worked out and prepared in the off season. We get prepared to have 40 plus carries a game. Not many people can teach you that.
Right. And I just want to thank you again for your time, and as far as Derrick Henry now, he's going into a contract year. It's his last year of his contract. Do you expect to see any decline, or do you expect him to kind of just continue to be the guy he is?
He continues to stay hungry, because when you come in the NFL, you play for that first contract, and when you have some success, you're looking for to have that one contract that's going to pretty much send you on out. And this may be the case for him, but I hope that the young man can come back and play even stronger now. That's motivation and a half. I hope that he can go out there and get the job done for the organization, for the team.
All right. Thank you.